do not always recommend banjo tablature, but when I do, I recommend Geoff Hohwald's Banjo Primer. Here's why. In my last video, the Banjo Rhythm Basics Part 2, I finished off with a little ditty called Boil Them Cabbage Down. And I played a forward-reverse roll and showed you how you could just use those partial chords, the C and the D or D7th, to create a decent beginner solo for the song. Not all rolls work that way, but it's nice when they do. Now, the reason that came about wasn't just pure luck. I've taught with Geoff's books for a number of years. In this particular book, the Banjo Primer Deluxe edition has been out for over 40 years and has sold more than 200,000 copies. I suggest that you buy one on Amazon today, and you can follow along with what I'm doing a little bit easier. If you don't have one though, my aim here is to explain the first 4 songs and about 6 breaks in a series of videos coming up. I'm going to break down the Banjo Primer songs. I've made 50 or 60 videos the last year, and none of them have included any tablature. Why is that? I don't think the tab is a bad tool to use when you're first learning a song. However, it's been my experience in over 40 years of teaching that students sometimes cling on to that tablature a little too long. And if you become dependent on reading it, then you'll never be able to play it at a jam. The reason is backed by science. If you've read Josh Turknett's book, Banjo, or Anyone Can Play Music, you'll see that different parts of the brain, different neural pathways, if you will, are responsible for when you recite something, reading tablature, versus when you just hear it and play it naturally. And anyone can learn to play by ear, I believe, given enough time and the right direction. I'll give you a quick look here of the tablature for Boil Them Cabbage Down. But rather than try to memorize 64 different notes, what you want to look at is this pattern that repeats over and over again, and it's the forward-reverse roll. Goes like this. 3rd string, 2nd string, 1st, 5th, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 1st. Or we say 3, 2, 1, 5, 1, 2, 3, 1. Now this is a little bit different from the 7-note forward reverse roll, only in that you are going to add the 1st string played with your middle finger at the end of the measure in order to make a complete 8-note measure. And that just leads to a seamless transition all the way through the song. You hear 8th notes. And I'll play you the version again that I played in the last video, and then we'll break it down. 2, 3, 4. If you look in the book, you'll see there's a DVD in the front of the book, and you can pick up a DVD player for 20 or 30 bucks online now. They're pretty cheap. And then a couple of CDs on the back. There may also be some information online. Anyway, you've got plenty of tools to go along with this to help you play it at the various tempos. We can use Strum Machine, which I'll bring up right now. Here's Boil Them Cabbage at 30 beats a minute with Strum Machine. The only problem I think you might have with this, once you get your forward reverse roll down, is going to be in the 7th measure. That's the measure that goes from G to D. And here's how you're going to do that. We'll take 7 and 8 because that's kind of the crux of the song there. I'll give you a countdown. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. That might be the toughest thing to memorize, but once you get that down, it's pretty straight ahead. You've got a measure of G, a measure of C, a measure of G, a measure of D, and then start thinking of these maybe in 4 measure blocks, if you will. And then you've got your second block of 4, which is G, C, just the way you started it. But then you have G, D, G. Okay, that's also called a turnaround. You go from G to D real quick and back to G again to resolve the song. Let's try it a little bit faster on the strum machine. We'll try it at 40 beats per minute.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Try it again at 50 beats per minute.
1, 2, 3, 4.
There you have the first break, and you may have seen that before, and you may say, well, I can play that already, but record yourself and make sure that it's as tight as you want it to be. Doesn't have to sound like J.D. Crowe right off the bat, but you should have a smooth sound, and if you don't, slow it down and find out which fingers might be a little too heavy or maybe too light. You want a consistent sound amongst all those fingers as you're going through these rolls. Here's the second break on page 21. If you look at it, he's introducing a new technique here, the slide. So we've gone from just straight putting down chords and rolling to some left hand techniques. And Geoff's going to show you the slide, then he's going to go into the hammer and the pull eventually in each of these songs. So you're building these technical skills, and you're going to use these for all the rest of your breaks that you play in bluegrass music. So it's good to learn them well now and be able to play them cleanly. Let's go with Boil Them Cabbage down with the 2-4 slide. If you look at the exercises, you'll see that 2-4 slide is going to be middle finger on the 2nd fret of the 3rd string, pluck the string, and slide it up. Let's try exercise B, for instance. If you could play that, you almost have the song down. Again, watch out for the final 7th and 8th measure, because you don't have a slide there, but you still have that half a measure of G, half a measure of D thing going. So you've got this. Let's try it at 40 beats a minute with the slide.
1, 2, 3, 4.
So there you have it, the first 2 breaks in the Banjo Primer. It's a great book to get you started. In the next video, we're going to tackle Shady Grove and the hammer-on technique. Hope to see you then.